So as I was saying yesterday in the video that's actually gonna go live today instead, today marks the 11th anniversary of my car. And I'm really happy because even 11 years on, I can still say I feel as excited and I love it just as much as day one. I would change absolutely nothing about it. I used to think that the only flaw it had was the display panel being too bright, but then I learned that that little dial on the bottom right isn't gonna alter the odometer. It is for the brightness, and I could see the symbol that it had like a little light bulb on it, but I was just too afraid to touch it. I finally messed with it and discovered that yes indeed you can change the brightness on that. Outside of that, everything is perfect for me. It's simple, basic. People call this Corolla very boring, and I'm like, to me, I would rather have a boring car that's safe than a car that's really fancied up. It's distracting, and on top of that, it's out of my league, out of my reach. I like that this car is simple down to the screw. Even fixing it, it's not like, oh my god, I cannot afford to realistically have this car. And I promise you that even if I had a fancy lifestyle, I'm not going to upgrade from this. Like, this thing, I'm either dying in it or it dies on me, but I would never ever consider upgrading. To me, that would be a downgrade with the way cars are nowadays. Honestly, when I laid eyes on this model all those years ago, it really felt like love at first sight. I just knew that that was the car I just needed. I hadn't even seen its interior. I had only seen it driving out in the wild, like the 2011 model. When it came out, I was like, that is a very beautiful Corolla externally. And when I finally got inside of it the day that we were buying this one for me to examine it, I thought, this is exactly what I imagine my car to be, to need to be for my enjoyment. I don't need for the cabin to be bigger. I had the windows tinted, a gift that a friend of mine supplied, we could say, because I kept saying the only thing I would change is I would make my windows dark. I got that done about a year and a half ago. So it's not a flaw in the car, it's just that this particular one that I bought just didn't have that. The sound system, to me, it's perfect. It's good enough. I really like that it's suitable for my needs. I have never needed it to be bigger. I don't need it to go faster. I simply love it. And I guess if I were to be kind of picky, I could criticize the fact that it's like very hard plasticky, but even that has solutions. I have gotten creative with what I can do to it to make it more comfortable for me. But this is what I'm saying, guys. I like that I have known how I am, what I am, and that I get things that match that. I have never had a regret of, oh my god, I dropped so much money on something and it turns out that I'm not happy with it. Nothing like that. Just, I listened to my gut. When I saw this car, I said to myself, I don't know why, but I get this surge in my core every time I see it. And I thought, I hope that gets to be my car. But as much as I dreamed of it being my car, I wasn't sure if that was a real vision or if it was just me fantasizing. But it turns out that that vision was me seeing into the future, now that I look back on it. And like I've said, every time I sit on this seat, whether I'm stressed, sad, on my way to work, tired, frustrated, I always remember I'm on the left side, I'm the captain, I gotta be careful, this is a massive responsibility, I need it a lot, and I'm not going to be a clown when using it. But yeah, it's fantastic. And I like that when I see it, it just looks like me. You can see my car and be like, that totally looks like Zam. Kind of like pets. Pets sometimes, I don't know if you morph into them or they morph into you, but there are certain pets that I'm like, I can see the person who owns them in that pet as well. So yeah, you guys, I think I'm ready to tell you another story that's related to cars that I said weeks ago happened, and how, you know, it's a life-changing experience. And if you have cat ears, like ears that are very good at perceiving details, you may have been able to figure that something strange had happened based on a comment that I made on my video where I'm having the Burger King sandwich revisit. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get that started now.